Hello everyone. Hope you all fine and safe in this lockdown period. I am Dr. E. Balaji, working as a Director of Physical Education at CBM College, Kovai Pudur, Coimbatore. First of all, I congratulate and submit my sincere gratitude to the management, principal and the Director of Physical Education of Arulmigu Palani Andava Arts College for Women Palani for having given me this opportunity to handle a session in this online program on holistic development. The organizers have rightly selected the topic for this online program, that is holistic development. We know that holistic development is a practical way to a comprehensive learning system where physical, mental, social and emotional growth of a child is taken care. In this session, I am going to share the basic concepts about stress management through physical activity. My dear friends, human everyday life is full of stress and strain, so that the present century is called stress era. We all face different challenges and obstacles. Sometimes the pressure is hard to handle. We feel overwhelmed and unsure how to meet the demands placed on us. We experience stress. In small doses, stress can be a good thing. It gives you the push you need, motivating you to do your best and to stay focused and alert. Stress is what keeps you on your toes during a presentation, at a conference or at a work, or drives you to study for the examination. But when the going gets too tough and life's demands exceed your ability to cope, stress becomes a threat to both your physical and emotional well-being. Today's demands and pressures guarantee that all human beings will experience stress. Stress is simply a byproduct of life. The encouraging part of this lecture is that we can learn how to control or manage the excess stress through the physical activities, and also we can learn what are all the physiological changes take place in our body to get rid of stress. With this short introduction, I will move on to the presentation. Once again, welcome all to the presentation on stress management through physical activity. I would like to start my presentation with this beautiful quote, mens sana in corpore sano. It is a Latin phrase usually translated as a healthy mind in a healthy body. The phrase is widely used in sporting and educational context to express the theory that physical exercise is an important or essential part of mental and psychological well-being. Most of us have heard or read about this, and some people also keep saying this to others as friendly advice. It has a simple but deep meaning. For a healthy mind, we should be both physically and mentally healthy and fit. But most of us seem to be ignoring this simple mantra in today's time. In today's fast life, we are mostly stressed and racing against time to finish our to-do list each day. We are so busy that we do not get time to eat properly, do some physical exercise, and even sleep adequately. Most of us remain constantly stressed. We are always under pressure to meet deadlines or complete our targets. Now, we discuss about stress and how to manage it with doing physical activity. Hans Selye first introduced the term stress into life science. The term stress is derived from the Latin word stringere, which means to be drawn tight. Stress is defined as the non-specific response of the body to any demand. Stress is a complex, dynamic process of interaction between a person and his or her life. Stress can affect one's health, work performance, social life, and relationship with family members. Endocrinologist Hans Selye coined the term stress and provided important research into the physiological and psychobiological explanation for stress. There can be positive or negative stressor in life. For example, a newborn baby or promotion is a positive stressor, or death of a loved one or career failure is an example for negative stressor. Stressors. The pressures and demands that cause stress are known as stressors. Stressors are those changes in one's life or threatening situations. We are usually aware of stressors when we feel conflicted, frustrated, or pressured. Most of the common stressors fall within four broad categories, that is, personal, social, work, and the environment. Next one is general adaptation syndrome. Selye was responsible for proposing the general adaptation syndrome, which suggests there are three stages in the stress process. The alarm stage occurs immediately when an individual is exposed to a stressful situation or event. The nervous system and the adrenal glands release the main stress hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline, which are responsible for providing instant energy. This is the fight or flight response. And second one is resistant. This stage is involved with coping mechanisms and it attempts to reverse the alarm stage. In the third stage, exhaustion is the repeated exposure to alarm which may cause individuals to become exhausted and therefore unable to show further resistance. Stress levels continue to rise, which may damage nerve cells in tissues and organisms. Signs and symptoms of stress. To get a handle on stress, you first need to learn how to recognize it in yourself. Stress affects the body, mind, and behavior in many ways, all directly tied to physiological changes of the fight or flight response. The specific signs and symptoms of stress vary widely from person to person. Some people primarily experience physical symptoms such as low back pain, stomach problems, and skin breakouts. In others, the stress pattern centers on emotional symptoms such as crying or hypersensitivity. For still others, a change in the way they think or behave predominates. Causes of stress. The potential causes of stress are numerous and highly individual. What you consider stressful depends on many factors, including your personality, general outlook on life, problem solving abilities, and social support system. Something that's stressful to you may not face someone else, or they may even enjoy it. Here, I have listed general causes of stress, that is, organization structure, leadership style and quality, demands of task and role, death of a close ones, money concern, and injury or illness. The body's stress response. The fight or flight stress response involves a cascade of biological changes that prepare us for emergency action. When danger is sensed, a small part of the brain called the hypothalamus sets off a chemical alarm. Stress hormone races through the bloodstream, readying us to either flee the scene or battle it out. Heart rate and blood flow to the large muscles increase so we can run faster and fight harder. Blood vessels under the skin constrict to prevent blood loss in case of injury. Pupils dilate in our eyes so we can see better and our blood sugar ramps up, giving us an energy boost and speeding up reaction time. At the same time, body processes not essential to immediate survival are suppressed. The digestive and reproductive systems slow down, growth hormones are switched off, and the immune response is inhibited. The biological stress response is meant to protect and support us. It's what helped our ancestors survive the life or death situations they commonly faced. But in the modern world, most of the stress we feel is in response to psychological rather than physical threats. Whether we are stressed over a looming deadline, an argument with your friend, or a mountain of bills about the EMI warning, and just like a caveman confronting a saber-toothed tiger, we go in automatic overdrive. Effects of chronic stress. Chronic stress wears you down day after day and year after year with no visible escape. Under sustained or severe stress, even the most well adjusted person loses the ability to adapt. When stress overcomes our coping resources, our bodies and minds suffer. Research suggests that anywhere from 60 to 90% of illnesses stress related. The physical wear and tear of stress includes damage to the cardiovascular system and immune system suppression. Stress comprises your ability to fight off disease and infection, throws your digestive system off balance, and makes it difficult to conceive a baby and can even stunt growth in children. With this preamble of stress, now we can discuss the physical activity and its effects on stress. According to World Health Organization, physical activity is defined as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscles that require energy expenditure. Furthermore, the World Health Organization identifies physical inactivity as a leading risk factor. Exercise versus stress. This slide deals with how does exercise help with stress. Physical activity improves your body's ability to use oxygen and also improves blood flow. Both of these changes have a direct effect on your brain. Exercise also increases your brain's production of endorphins. Endorphins are the feel-good neurotransmitters. This is the sense of well-being and euphoria that many people experience after exercise. Physical activity can also help take your mind off your worries. The repetitive motions involved in exercise promote a focus on your body rather than your mind. By concentrating on the rhythm of your movements, you experience many of the same benefits of meditation while working out. Focusing on a single physical task can produce a sense of energy and optimism. This focus can help provide calmness and clarity. Reduction of fight or flight response. Sports scientist explains that stress, no matter how large or small, activates your flight or fight response, and in doing so, floods your body with a cocktail of different hormones including cortisol, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. Exercise metabolizes the hormones triggered by the fight or flight response, burning off these chemicals so that you don't feel like fighting with someone or hiding from the world. Once these hormones have burned themselves out, your level of homeostasis improves. Homeostasis is the characteristic of an organism to regulate its internal conditions. An example is the body regulating its internal temperature by shivering or sweating. And other examples are acid base balance and the glucose concentration, etc. And you feel calm and ready to tackle the world once again. Volume of physical activity. Here, volume refers how much exercise do we need to get rid of stress. Health professionals recommend getting at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week. They suggest breaking it down by tackling 30-minute workout session at least 5 days a week. If you are short on time and cannot fit it in a full 30-minute session, 3 10-minute workout have been shown to work almost as well as 30 minutes at once. They encourage us to incorporate at least 2 sessions of muscle strengthening activities into our weekly routine. We should give all our muscle a good workout, including our arms, shoulders, chest, back, abdomen, and other core muscles. Be sure to build up your physical activity level gradually if you are new to an exercise program. And types of exercise. This slide explains what types of exercise help with stress. There are many ways to meet your weekly exercise targets. What type of physical activity should you choose? You don't need to be a marathon runner or elite athlete to experience stress relief from exercise. Almost any kind of exercise can be helpful. Virtually, any form of exercise or movement can increase your fitness level while decreasing your stress. The most important thing is to pick an activity that you enjoy. Examples include walking, stair climbing, jogging, bicycling, yoga, tai chi, gardening, weightlifting, and swimming. Any physical activity that increases the respiratory rate, which means the breathing rate, and causes a positive mental distraction is a good choice for stress management, including solo activities and ones that include a companion or group activities. Many types of physical activities that can work to reduce stress. I have given a few examples in this slide. Stretching. Life can be filled with chores and stress. Soon joints begin to hurt, our backs hurt, and people find themselves moving stiffly as they feel tense. Stretching is one way to help remove stress from life and bodies. Stretching is a form of physical exercise in which a specific muscle or tendon or muscle group is deliberately flexed or stretched in order to improve the muscle's felt elasticity and achieve comfortable muscle tone. The result is a feeling of increased muscle control, flexibility, and range of motion. Professionals in the fitness and health industries have noticed the correlation between stretching and relieving stress. They say to combat tension brought on by anxiety or stress, an individual hold stretches for at least 15 seconds to help them loosen up and let go of stress. Stress can restrict blood flow to knots in the muscles in the shoulders and neck. Stretching increases blood flow to the muscle and aids circulation. Improving circulation allows muscles to relax, leading to greater heart health and cardiovascular function. Stretching also promotes circulation of new blood to the brain, which can result in mood elevation, allowing any stress to roll off your body and mind. Deep breathing. When holding a stretch, people tend to allow the breath to stretch out as well. Researchers discuss the benefits of deep breathing to calm the body and release stress. While deep breathing might seem unnatural, they say it promotes full oxygen exchange in our lungs, which can slow the heartbeat and lower or stabilize blood pressure, inducing a more relaxed state of being. Here I have given some of the examples of basic stretching exercises which will be helpful to the person who are leading the sedentary lifestyle. First one is crescent stretch. An excellent stretching technique for stress is the crescent stretch. This stretch helps release tension from the neck, shoulders and upper back while elongating your entire torso. And next one is trapezius and rhomboid stretch. When your body is under stress, usually the first area you may feel the tension is the neck and shoulder muscles. This muscle area is often referred to as the stress triangle. This group of muscles reacts to tension by tensing and tightening. This stretch helps you eliminate tension in the deep muscles of the upper back where tension often collects. So here this diagram clearly explains how to do this stretching. Next one is sternocleidomastoid stretch. This stretch releases tension in your sternocleidomastoid muscle. This SCM muscle is one of the largest and most superficial cervical muscle. The primary action of the muscle or rotation of the head to the opposite side and flexion of the neck, which runs from below your ear to just below your shoulder blade. It also stretches along the front of your arms. Next one is lower back stretch. If you sit a lot, spend a great deal of time in driving or perform heavy work, then you may notice tension in your lower back. Performing this stretch to release tension there. So this is a very important exercises for those who are sitting a long time in front of computer and doing their work. Walking. It is easy to do and requires no classes or any special equipment. Walking frequently can reduce the incidence of many of the stress related conditions, including cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure and cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. People with regular walking regimens also report reduced stress levels and a self-confidence that comes from taking an active role in their well-being. Walking releases tension from the major muscle groups, deepens the breathing and quiets the nervous system. It also gets us out into the nature, which is relaxing. If you are just getting started on walking for exercise, aim for 2 15-minute walks a week. After 2 or 3 weeks, gradually increase the frequency and duration of your walks. 5 or 6 30 minutes walk a week are usually recommended to maintain health and stress management. If you want to lose your weight, you will have to make those walks longer when you have time. Say 90 minutes on Sundays and other holidays, and or more intense, take a hilly route or ramp up speed. Your breath should be heavy but not difficult. The next one is jumping jacks. Jumping jacks are a sweet remembrance of our childhood. This fun whole body exercise is mostly used for warming up and instantly elevates your mood and activates various muscle groups. The rigorous calisthenic moves help improve your stamina, are a great exercise for the cardiovascular system and relieve stress. Like this, We can do other calisthenic exercises such as push-ups, pull-ups, core strength exercises, own body weight training to increase our heart rate and to reduce our stress. Tag games. Think back to your childhood and playing tag. Tag is a playground game involving two or more players chasing other players in an attempt to tag and mark them out of play. Usually by touching with the hand. There are many variations in the tag games. Most forms have no teams, scores, or equipment. It is not just physical. There are so many physical skills involved in playing tag. Skills that children grasp intuitively without any formal instruction. They learn how to control their muscles by accelerating and stopping while sprinting around. They improve their agility, balance, coordination, accuracy, and precision as they evade tasks. They learn how to pivot, focus, and reach. And yes, they learn the basics of tactics and strategy. As they learn how to evade capture from their rivals or to get tagged again, so they can become the chaser if they so choose. It's also important to recognize the social benefits of playing tag games. It's a high intensity activity, but one that can lead to laughter and fun. In fact, it's almost impossible for children to play a good game of tag without laughing, shouting, and generally having a good time. You can play with your close friends or with complete strangers. Next one is sports and games. Teenagers have a lot on their plates day in and day out. Between classes, homework, chores, and other extracurricular activities, many teens may think that adding another activity to what they may feel like is already a heavy load may be stressful. Improved self-esteem can dramatically reduce your overall stress. Being a part of a team is an amazing way to build one's self-esteem. When you are more confident in your own abilities, you feel better about yourself. Studies have shown that sports and exercise can decrease mild symptoms of depression and even improve the quality of sleep. The quality of your sleep has been linked to your sense of well-being. A great way of managing stress is through socializing. Socialization helps relieve stress by promoting the hormone oxytocin, which promotes relaxation, thus reducing stress. So, with this, I would like to conclude as an ending note. The human body is not designed to sit all day. Just getting up and moving around is a powerful way to reduce stress. It allows our muscles to move, encourages blood to flow, and help us feel more like ourselves. Exercise also gets us breathing deeper, which triggers the body's relaxation response. So be fit and feel the difference. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed the presentation. My dear friends, I request you all to motivate your friends and family members to involve any type of physical activity to get rid of stress. If you have any doubts to design your physical activity, to contact your institution's director of physical education. They will guide you because they are physically educated person, and I would say they are human engineers, because individuals differ in age, sex, anthropometrically and physiologically. So designing the physical activity is an art and science. So you feel free to contact your physical education director to design the physical activity which will help you definitely. With this, I would like to conclude. Once again, I wholeheartedly thank the management of Arulmigu Palani Andava Arts College for Women Palani, the principal of the college, Dr. N. Bhuvaneshwari, and the Director of Physical Education, Lieutenant Dr. R. Kalayarasi, for choosing me as a resource person to handle this session. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.